ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नाम्ने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Canto 8, Chapter 7, Verse 1. श्रीशुक उवाच ते नागराजं मामन्त्र्य फलभागेन वासुकिं परिवीय गिरौ तस्मिन् नेत्रम् अब्धिं मुदान्विताः आरेभिरसुरा यत्ता अमृतार्थे कुरुद्वः। Shukadeva Goswami said, O best of the Kurus, Maharaja Parikshit, the demigods and demons summoned Vasuki, king of serpents, requesting him to come and promising to give him a share of the nectar. They coiled Vasuki around Mandara mountain as a churning rope, and with great pleasure they endeavored to produce nectar by churning the ocean of milk. So Samudra Manthana. Manthana means churning. So the ocean, it's not an ordinary ocean. It's not the ocean of salt water. It's the ocean of milk, which means that this was happening in Shvetadvipa, right? Or in the, not necessarily Shvetadvipa, but in the part of Bhumandala where there is ocean of milk. So we know that there are 7 dvipas, and surrounding each dvipa is an ocean. Like surrounding Jambu Dvipa is the ocean of is salt ocean, right? So if you go to where is this? 5th canto. If you go to 5th canto, once again, let me see if you can find that. Yeah. What is the Jambu Dvipa description is there? Yeah, Jambu Dvipa is surrounded by an ocean of salt water. The breadth of Jambu Dvipa is 1 lakh yojanas, 8 lakh miles. And the breadth of the saltwater ocean is the same. As a moat around a fort is sometimes surrounded by garden-like forest, the saltwater ocean surrounding Jambu Dvipa is itself surrounded by Plaksha Dvipa. The breadth of Plaksha Dvipa is twice that of the saltwater ocean. In other words, 260,000 yojanas. Okay, and then Lakshadvipa is Lakshadvipa is surrounded by an ocean of sugarcane juice. It's surrounded by an ocean of sugarcane juice. And then similarly, there is another island, Salmali Dvipa, which is twice as broad as Lakshadvipa. And Salmali Dvipa is surrounded by ocean of liquor. So sugarcane juice, so salt water, sugarcane juice, ocean of liquor. And beyond that, there is something called as Kushadvipa. Kushadvipa is surrounded by ocean of liquid ghee. And then Then after Kushadvipa, then what comes? Kushadvipa, Kraunchadvipa. So Kraunchadvipa is surrounded by an ocean of milk. So this Kraunchadvipa, so which is where this is the ocean of milk. So possibly this pastime, so this pastime took happened in this ocean of milk, which is far away from our Jambudvipa. So it is in this Kraunchadvipa. So Jambudvipa, Plakshadvipa, Salmali Dvipa, then what is that? Kushadvipa, then Kraunchadvipa. So there this churning happened. Haripurasta Jagre Purvam Devastato Bhavan. The person who got it, Ajita, grasped the front portion of the snake and then the demigod followed. So in this Samudra Mantana, there are 1, 2, 3 forms of the Lord involved. And eventually then there will be 4th form of the Lord also, which is Mohini Murti. So first is this Ajita. Ajita is also the Supreme Person of Godhead. So he does multiple tasks in this Samudra Mantana. So first he is holding the front portion of the snake, Vasuki, to start the churning. Then after that, then the Kurmavatara, Lord comes as Kurma. Then Ajita itself, I think Ajita himself goes and holds the top of the Sumeru to make it stable. And then, yeah, after that, Mohini Murti. In the middle, then Dhanvantari also comes, right? Who gives the so many personalities of Godhead, they appear in this pastime. Tannaicham Daityapatayo Mahapurusha Chestitam. Tannaicham Daityapatayo Mahapurusha Chestitam. Nagrinimo Vayam Pucham Maherangam Mangalam. Swadhyaya Shruta Sampannaha Prakhyata Janma Karmabhihi. The leaders of the demons thought it unwise to hold the tail, the inauspicious portion of the snake. Instead, they wanted to hold the front, which had been taken by the personate of Godhead and the demigods, because that portion was auspicious and glorious. Thus, the demons, on the plea that they were all highly advanced students of Vedic knowledge and were all famous for their birth and activities, protested that they wanted to hold the front of the snake. So demons are thinking holding the front of the snake is more prestigious than holding the back part of the snake. So then they say, we are very qualified, advanced students of Vedic knowledge. So let us hold the front of the snake. The demons thought that the front of the snake was auspicious and that catching hold of that portion would be more chivalrous. Moreover, Daityas must always be opposite of the demigods. That is their nature. And we actually seen this in relation to our Krishna conscious movement. We are advocating cow protection and encouraging people to drink more milk and eat palatable preparations made of milk. But the demons, just to protest such proposals, are claiming that they are advanced in scientific knowledge, as described here by the word Swadhyaya Shruta Sampannaha. They say that according to their scientific way, they have discovered that milk is dangerous and that the beef obtained by killing cows is very nutritious. This difference of opinion will always continue. Indeed, it has existed since days of yore. Millions of years ago, there was the same competition. The demons, as a result of their so-called Vedic study, prefer to hold the side of the snake near the mouth. So, we should understand this demon scientists, Prabhupada called these scientists demons because they don't accept the Vedic knowledge. So, they want to establish some theory of theirs which is opposing Vedic knowledge. So, Prabhupada is saying, demons oppose demigods. Demons also oppose Supreme Lord. So-called scientists who are supposed to be showing the path for people. They have no clear understanding of. So they have their own speculative theory which they promote, and they reject the Vedas. So they are atheists. Atheists means demons, right? So unfortunately, in our schools and colleges, children have to read all this nonsense that is given by scientists, half of which is possibly not completely correct, speculative. The Supreme Person of Godhead thought it wise to catch hold of the dangerous part of the snake and allow the demons to hold the tail, which was not dangerous. So Supreme Person of Godhead is actually being merciful by saying that we will hold the front portion of the snake, because front portion of the snake is dangerous because the snake can bite. But the rear portion of the snake, the tail, is not dangerous. So Supreme Person of Godhead wanted to help the devotees. This is one very, very important thing we should understand. Many times we are not sure what is good for us. We have some conception of what is good for us, but Guru and Krishna have different thoughts, and they instruct differently. And we should understand that when they instruct differently, different from what we wanted or expected, we should understand that it's just our lack of. We don't have the required vision, right? But they know, and they will always do whatever they do for our good. So like here, Ajita is holding the front portion of the snake. He's like, okay, demons, but still, okay, I'll protect them. But demons do not want. They want to oppose. They said, no, you are holding front. No, we want the front. You go to hold the tail. But because of competitive desire, demons thought it wise to hold the snake near the mouth. If the demigods were going to drink poison, the demons would resolve, why should we not share the poison and die gloriously by drinking it? Meaning, generally they want to oppose what the demigods will do. In regard to the word Swadhyaya Shruta Sampannaha Prakhyata Janma Karma Bihi, another question may be raised. If one is actually educated in Vedic knowledge, is famous for performing prescribed activities, and has been born in a great aristocratic family, why should he be called a demon? So these are all from a material perspective. These demons, they were all educated in Vedic knowledge. They were famous for performing prescribed duties, and they were born in great aristocratic family. Then why should they be called demons? Answer is that one may be highly educated and may have been born in an aristocratic family, but if he is godless, if he does not listen to the instructions of God, then he is a demon. If one does not listen to the instructions of God, then he is a demon. There is no other criteria to call somebody a demon. It's not their material qualification. It's actually just, if they don't want to listen to the instructions of God, then they're demons. And whenever we hear about this, listen to instructions of God, we should understand Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasadam. Instructions of God means instructions of Guru. There are many examples in history of men like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana and Kamsa who were well educated, who were born in aristocratic families, and who were very powerful and chivalrous in fighting. But who, because of deriding the Supreme Person of Godhead, were called Rakshasas or demons. Because they went against the Supreme Lord, so they're demons. One may be very well educated, but if he has no sense of Krishna consciousness, no obedience to the Supreme Lord, he is a demon. So this is very, very important. We have to be obedient to the Supreme Lord. We should be obedient to representatives of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, we might not be, possibly it will be difficult to be called as devotees. And unfortunately, again, most devotees, they take initiation and then they don't bother to Even they don't even bother to understand what the instructions are of Guru, let alone following them. So, Namam dushkritino moodaha prapadyante naradhamaha maya parathagnana asuram bhavamashtritaha. Those miscreants were grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. So demons are, so they're atheistic, they're foolish, their knowledge is stolen by illusion, Maya, and they don't surrender to Krishna. And nowadays, demons also appear in the garb of devotees. So we had a not so pleasant experience on the train. So we're coming back from Pandharpur, and there is somebody in the next compartment, next coach, not coach, whatever, compartment. And we said we're going to do kirtan. We said, yeah, we're also devotees, do etc. Then we were doing kirtan with speaker with mic on, and then 5:30 to 7 o'clock till 7 o'clock, that person's patients ran out, right? So then he started shouting, saying that I run 3 temples. We don't do like this. We don't trouble people. But where are we troubling people? By giving Harinama in public, we are making the biggest benefit. But this is demoniac because they don't know. And that person so-called is taking care of 3 temples, but he doesn't know what devotion is, what is good for people, what is not good for people. And he is shouting at devotees, which means how can he be called in any form or shape demigod or proponent of dharma. Then I realized this is Prakrita Bhaktas. Prakrita Bhakta means neophyte devotee. Our Shastra say Prakrita Bhakta means he only respects the gods. He might respect God, but he doesn't respect devotees. Even blasphemed the residents of Pandharpur. So he's a demon, the number 1 demon. And I was feeling really bad, saying, today temples are in such people's hands. What will happen to Dharma? Anyway, so there are demons everywhere. And devotees, they have to just depend on the protection of Krishna. That's all. What can we do? And this is just the beginning of the 10,000 years of golden period, and this is the state where somebody was calling himself as proponent of Hindu Dharma, Pakka Hindu, you're saying. And then he's shouting, doesn't want devotees to do kirtan. And it's just beginning. What will happen? So it's very important that devotees somehow figure out a way to live with other devotees. Because this material world is demoniac. Asuram Bhavam refers to not accepting the existence of God or the transcendental instructions of personality of Godhead. And transcendental instructions of personality of Godhead is saying that, worship my devotee. Harinam is the essence in Kali Yuga. But they can't understand this. Bhagavad Gita clearly consists of transcendental instructions imparted directly by the Supreme Lord. But Asuras, instead of accepting these instructions directly, make commentaries according to their own whimsical ways. Yeah, and this person also making his own commentary, not that he has written it in a book, but he has his own philosophy. Everybody seems to have their own philosophy. So they will make commentaries according to their own whimsical ways and mislead everyone without profit even for themselves. One should therefore be very careful of demoniac godless persons. And it's very important that when devotees are dealing with such people, how do we deal with it? So if he had blasphemed any devotee, then it would have been different. He was speaking, so we kept quiet. generally saying that you're disturbing, which is okay, which is material, we can understand. But if he had, so we kept quiet, we didn't speak anything. But if in case he had blasphemed any person or the Supreme Lord, then we shouldn't have tolerated if suppose such a situation arose. So these things are important, Krishna tests us in these situations, saying that, what is your level of surrender? So not that sadhu means just, keeping, zipping your mouth and not speaking. When required, we have to speak. And I was contemplating, saying that what is the situation? Should we speak? Should we not speak? And then I realized saying that, okay, he didn't blaspheme anybody or the Supreme Lord. He was just talking about disturbance, which is okay, which is, we have to be human in that way. So we just kept quiet. But the problem is that those calling themselves so-called proponents of Dharma, they can't understand the significance of Harinam. It's a pity. One should therefore be very careful of demoniac, godless persons. According to the words of Lord Krishna, even if a godless demon is very well educated, he must be considered as a Mudha, Naradama, and Maya Aparata Gnana. So material education is of no consideration. Iti tushnim stithan daityan vilokya purushottamaha smayamano visrujyagram ucham jagraha samaraha. Thus the demons remain silent, opposing the desire of the demigods. Seeing the demigods and understanding their motive, the personality of God had smiled. Without discussion, he immediately accepted their proposal by grasping the tail of the snake, and the demigods followed him. Now, obviously, Ajita, the personality of Godhead, he knew what is going to happen. Fire is going to fire is going to come from the mouth of Vasuki, and they're all going to be burnt. Those people who are near his mouth will have major effect. So he smiled. Okay, you want to take the difficult part, take it. And none of the demigods also revolted. Demigods simply followed Ajita. So this is also very important, So devotees, and there has to be a sense of authority, and they have to follow authority. So demigods knew that Ajita is the authority, so they didn't overreact. Kritasthana vibhagasta evam kashyapa nandanaha amantu paramam yatta amritartham payonidhim. After thus adjusting how the snake was to be held, so Vasuki adjusting the snake, hold like this, etc. Sons of Kashyapa, both demigods and demons, Suras and Asuras, both of them are sons of the same father. They began their activities, desiring to get nectar by churning the ocean of milk. Amrita, Manthana. Amrita for Manthana. Samudra Manthana for getting Amrita. Paya Nidhi. Paya means milk. Nidhi means ocean. Paya Nidhim. So they started Amantu churning. Mathyamane arnave sodrir anadharohya povishat dhriyamano pibalibhir gauravat pandunandana. O sons of the Pandu dynasty. When Mandara mountain was thus being used as a churning rod in the ocean of milk, it had no support, and therefore, although held by strong hands of the demigods and demons, it sank into the water. Te sunirvinna manasa rimlana mukasriyaha asan swapaurushe nashte daivenati baliyasa. Because the mountain had been sunk by the strength of providence. We should understand this. Whatever happens is by the strength of providence. Providence for us is Supreme Lord Krishna himself. For devotees, for non-devotees, it's their karma. The demigods and demons were disappointed and their faces seemed to shrivel. They all became very sad. So they're turning with so much of energy and strength, and suddenly Mandara just sank into the ocean. Vilokya Vignesha Vidim Tade Tadeshwaro Durantaviryo Vitatabhisandihi Kritva Adbhutam Mahad Pravishatoyam Girimujjahara Kachapam. Kachapa means tortoise. Seeing the situation that had been created by the will of the Supreme, the ultimately powerful Lord, Supreme is the ultimately powerful Lord, whose determination is infallible. Mare Krishna Rake Krishna Mare Ke. Somebody wants to, Krishna decides to kill somebody, who can protect you? Krishna decides to protect somebody, who can kill. Determination is infallible. Took the wonderful shape of a tortoise, entered the water, and lifted the great Mandara mountain. So Lord, he immediately appeared because he said that he will take care of things. So when Krishna is promising Yoga Kshemam Bahamyam, he will do the needful. What shape, what form, what time, what place, everything he will decide. Here is evidence that the Supreme Person of Godhead is the supreme controller of everything. As we have described, there are two classes of men, demons and demigods, but neither of them are supremely powerful. Everyone has experienced that hindrances are imposed upon us by the supreme power. The demons regard these hindrances as mere accidents or chance, but devotees accept them to be acts of the supreme ruler. So, for demons, everything is a chance. But for devotees, everything is running under the control of the Supreme Lord. When faced with hindrances, therefore, devotees pray to the Lord. What do they pray? Tattenu kampam susamikshamanam bunjana yavatma kritam vipakam. Devotees endure hindrances, accepting them to be caused by the Supreme Person of Godhead and regarding them as benedictions. Sometimes they seem like hindrance, but they are not really a hindrance. We can't understand, that's all. So we should regard everything that happens in our life as a benediction. Demons, however, being unable to understand the Supreme Controller, regard such hindrances as accidental and not good, not auspicious. Here, of course, the Supreme Person of Godhead was present personally. It was by His will that there were hindrances, and by His will those hindrances were removed. So everything the Lord does for His devotees, when something He has to do something, it seems like hindrance, He introduces hindrance, He removes hindrance, He protects devotees, He punishes demons, whatever is required He will do. The Lord appeared as a tortoise to support the great mountain. Kshitiriha vipulata retavatishthati prushte. Kshiti, the Lord held the great mountain on His back. Keshavadrita Kurma Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hari. Dangers can be created by the Supreme Person of Godhead and they can also be removed by Him. It is known to devotees, but demons cannot understand it. See, this is a big difference between demigods and demons. Demons can't understand Krishna. Demigods or devotees should be able to understand Krishna. Sometimes it might be difficult to understand. But theoretically, we should understand, okay, I don't understand how specifically this is going to help me, but it's going to be helpful. It is Lord's mercy upon me. So we should not doubt Krishna. At any point of time, we should not have any kind of doubt in our mind. Okay, Krishna, what is this? What is Krishna doing? Is it good for me, bad for me? Don't doubt. It might be difficult for us to accept a situation. That is different, but we should not doubt His intention. We should not doubt His protection. Muttitam vikshad gulachalam punaha samudyata nirmathitum surasuraha tadhara prushtena salok lakshayojana kastarina dvipa iva paromahan. And the demigods and demons saw that the Mandara mountain had been lifted. They were enlivened and encouraged to begin churning again. So the Lord simply as Kurma lifted the Mandara mountain and again they were able to start churning. The mountain rested on the back of the great tortoise, which extended for 800,000 miles. like a large island, 800,000 miles. Unimaginable. 800,000 means 8 lakh miles. 8 lakh miles. This is a body tortoise. सुरासुरेन्द्रैर्भुजवीर्यवेपितं परिभ्रमन्तं गिरिमङ्गपृष्ठतः बिभृत्तदावर्तनम् आदिकच्छपो मेनेङ्गकण्डूयनम् अप्रमेयः. O king, when the demigods and demons by the strength of their arms rotated Mandara mountain on the back of the extraordinary tortoise, the tortoise accepted the rolling of the mountain as a means of scratching his body. And thus he felt a pleasing sensation. And that huge Mandara mountain, which is made of, what is it made of gold? No. Yeah, I think it was made of gold. So heavy that it was lying on the back of the Lord, and that movement of the mountain on the back of the Lord, for him, it was like scratching. So it's like, if on our body one mosquito sits and then it bites us, then we will scratch. Like that too. Huge mountain, and it's a pleasing sensation. It's not like some pain. So we can't imagine the power of Krishna. Sometimes, this thought keeps coming to my mind. You look at Krishna, he's like a small boy, 13, 14-year-old boy, and we see so many small children around us. Krishna will look just like one of them. And that small boy is creating wonders, unimaginable powers. It's really difficult to understand. I think, why is he remaining as a small boy? Because he doesn't want to show his opulence. He wants to remain as a small boy and be loved by his devotees. So one person doing all this. Supreme Person of Godhead is always the unlimited. Although the Supreme Person of Godhead in his body as a tortoise held on his back the largest of mountains, Mandara Parvata, he did not feel any inconvenience. On the contrary, he apparently felt some itching. Because the rotation of the mountain was certainly very pleasing, right? When there is itching, you scratch and you feel like nice. Like that. Some itching, oh, somebody is scratching my back. तथासुराणाविशद् आसुरेण रूपेण तेषां बलवीर्यमीरयन् उद्दीपयन् देवगणांश्च विष्णोर् दैवेन नागेन्द्रमबोधरूपः. Thereafter, Lord Vishnu entered the demons. So this is very important. Lord Vishnu entered the demons as the quality of passion, the demigods as the quality of goodness, and Vasuki as the quality of ignorance, to encourage them and increase their various types of strength and energy. Everyone in this material world is under the different modes of material nature. There are 3 different parties in the churning. Demigods in the mode of goodness, demons in the mode of passion, and Vasuki in the mode of ignorance. Since they were all becoming tired, Vasuki so much so that he was almost going to die, Lord Vishnu, to encourage them to continue the work of churning the ocean, entered into them according to their respective modes of nature. So we can understand for devotees also, the Lord empowers devotees. So then we can understand that it's like the Lord is empowering with his energy, empowering devotees with his energy. Says that, like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, if somebody is able to preach nicely, then that means that he's got the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that mercy manifests as what a devotee speaks, what he does, etc. Everything. So similarly here, because it was the work of the Supreme Lord, this whole churning business, and everybody is getting tired, so he entered into all of them to enliven them, encourage them to continue, do nicely. Hmm. Manifesting himself with thousands of hands. And the Lord then appeared on the summit of Mandara like another great mountain and held Mandara with one hand. The upper planetary systems, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, along with Indra and other demigods, offered praise to the Lord and showered flowers upon him. Now, it doesn't say who this is, which form the Lord, thousand-handed form. So, yeah, this thousand-handed form is, I don't know whether says somewhere that it is Ajita or it's somebody else, I don't know. So, Ajita was the first person who was holding the snake and doing the churning business. And then there was Kurma. And then this also, this thousand-handed form, mostly it is Ajita, if I'm not wrong. And then Moini. To balance Mandara mountain while it was being pulled from both sides, the Lord himself appeared on its summit like another great mountain. Lord Brahma, Shiva, and King Indra then expanded themselves and showered flowers on the Lord. The demons, demigods, and demons worked almost madly for the nectar, encouraged by the Lord who was above and below the mountain and who had entered the demigods, demons, Vasuki, and the mountain itself. So it was all being orchestrated by the Lord. Because of the strength of the demigods and demons, the ocean of milk was so powerfully agitated that all the alligators in the water were very much perturbed. Nonetheless, the churning of the ocean continued in this way. Vasuki had thousands of eyes and mouths. From his mouths he breathed smoke and blazing fire, which affected the demons headed by Pauloma, Kaleya, Bali, and Ilvala. Thus the demons, who appeared like Sarala trees burned by a forest fire, gradually became powerless. Because the demigods were also affected by the blazing breath of Vasuki, their bodily lust was diminished, and their garments, garlands, weapons, and faces were blackened by smoke. However, by the grace of the Supreme Person of Godhead, clouds appeared on the sea, pouring torrents of rain, and breezes blew, carrying particles of water from the sea waves to give the demigods relief. See again, Lord is doing whatever is required, and they're all tired. And then there are clouds. Then there is then there are clouds in the sky. There are clouds in the sky, and there's a lot of torrents of rain. So Lord takes care. When nectar did not come from the ocean of milk, despite so much endeavor by the best of the demigods and demons, the Supreme Person of Godhead, Ajita, personally began to churn the ocean. The Lord appeared like a blackish cloud. He was dressed with yellow garments. His earrings shone on his ears like lightning, and his hair spread over his shoulders. He wore a garland of flowers, and his eyes were pinkish. With his strong, glorious arms, which award fearlessness throughout the universe, he took hold of Vasuki and began churning the ocean, using Mandara mountain as a churning rod. When engaged in this way, the Lord appeared like a beautifully situated mountain called Indranila. The Lord, in any situation, whatever he is doing, he just looks beautiful. And whatever he does, he will do it in style. So he's the greatest hero. No hero can match Krishna. So that's a, Radhipate Rakilam Maduram. Whatever he does is sweet. Attracts everybody. Okay, two more slokas. The fish, sharks, tortoises, and snakes were most agitated and perturbed. The entire ocean became turbulent, and even the large aquatic animals like whales, water elephants, if you didn't know, crocodiles, and Timingala fish, large whales that can swallow small whales. Timingala, it's called Timingala, came to the surface. While the ocean was being churned in this way, it first produced a fiercely dangerous poison called Hala Hala. Okay, so we'll stop here. More things will come, which we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveda Gaurava ki jai. Okay, any questions, comments? nothing much. It's just pastime. But main thing in this pastime is that protection of the Lord. So He will do the needful. So we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about what is going on, why this is happening like that, why that is happening like that. Just trust Krishna. Just trust Krishna. Krishna knows what needs to be done. Krishna knows what needs to be done, and Krishna does it. So we don't have to break our heads too much. What's going on? Why this is happening? Just simply depend on Krishna and let him drive, drive our ship, or whatever it's called, maneuver our ship. He will take us to safety at the end. We should understand that. So we should not doubt Krishna. Okay, any comments, anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Dandavat Pranam. So, Prabhu, I might have missed the reading, but what is the purpose of all this, Prabhu? I mean, why they are going through so much endeavor to?
Because
so is
they
it for
wanted nectar.
Nectar,
Yeah.
and
Nectar,
what is the benefit of that nectar, Prabhu? What benefit they get?
The demigods are going to become relatively immortal.
Immortal, but Mrityu is like death is certain, Prabhu, right? So what is the?
Yeah, because the demigods had become very powerful. So the Lord only wanted this to happen so that the nectar will come, and the demigods will become stronger to survive the attacks of the demons.
Okay, but that does not guarantee that they will become,
No, but for devotees, in all situations, demigods are devotees, right? Though they are
yes.
they're devotees. And see, the Lord does everything to show His mercy on the demigods or devotees, right? And more than the end result, it's the experience, the protection, the trust, right? That devotees develop in these situations, which are more important than the outcome.
Okay.
Right.
So I
many
mean,
things there in this past.
yes, true, and I know. so I mean, I'm just playing a devil's advocate here, right? Because see,
when the Lord is doing something, don't look at it materially. Of course, there'll be some immediate material outcome, right?
Yes.
But that material outcome is for the protection of the maintenance of this world. Whatever is required, the Lord will do the needful.
Yes,
right? Because His Vishnu, His job is maintenance, so He has to make sure that the demons will not flourish. So, okay, if this is the way by which demons are going to be curtailed, this is the way. He knows best. Right? So there will be an immediate material outcome, but more importantly, there will be long-lasting spiritual outcomes, which is what we should see.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, like through the process, like even demigods can see all the greatness of the Lord, right? I mean, how He is effortlessly carrying Manthara mountain, and then how is helping them at each and every step, right?
Yeah.
And then while demons, they are not able to, even though their Lord is in front of them, they are not able to realize any of that, Prabhu. None of them.
Yes, and also as devotees, we should be slightly different from the demigods if you want to become pure devotees. The demigods see it but still repeat it. Devotees should not do that. Devotees should have full faith and not keep calling the Lord every now and then. Krishna help me, Krishna help me, Krishna help me. So Pandavas, they were also fighting, but they were not like calling Krishna every time. They just depended on Krishna and they did whatever they had to do, right? But we see in Bhagavatam repeatedly, there are prayers for protection. Please protect me, please protect me. One way we can say that, okay, it is because they have roles to play. So protecting them means protecting the role. But at the same time, we still see that full dependence on, as in that full surrender, faith. Sometimes we see that lacking in demigods. Right? We should, pure devotees don't have any such doubt. They have full trust that Krishna will take care. They don't even pray. They have so much faith.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, anything else?
Hare
Okay.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, regarding this churning and when somewhere I heard when during my childhood, so when this churning happened, when Mohini has come,
Will come.
when Mohini has come, Shiva got attracted
that
to
was
her
the-
beauty.
Yeah.
So the pastime of Ayyappa, but what I heard from ISKCON books is that Maharajas is that there is no pastime of Ayyappa anywhere in the
Ayyappa is
Bhagavad.
not. It's not mentioned.
Huh.
Where-
That is only, but last couple of months back when I went to Udpi, Madhvacharya, they're all, I mean, we all follow even their parampara, right? Not Gauda Madhvacharya. I mean, our parampara is part of Madhvacharya also, right? But when I went to Udupi temple, opposite to Udupi, there is Chandramaulishwara temple where Madhvacharya has disappeared. So in that temple, beside beside the Shivalinga, there is a small way to go inside, and there they have Ayyappa Swami there. I was a bit confused because in our parampara, it is clearly mentioned that this is all cooked up story. But even in that temple, we have Ayyappa Swami. So I was like bit confused. Is it Ayyappa Swami? Is it really a cooked up story or is it a real story?
Okay, I'm not really studied this deeply to comment. But at least whatever scriptures we have read, there is no mention of Ayyappa. If somebody else has read this from authorized sources, you can please answer. I mean, I think that there is that book, Gokul Chandra Prabhu has written saying, that book, Who is Supreme? So we can read that in that book, possibly all the demigods, description of demigods will be there. Maybe we'll get so somebody else you can read, otherwise I look up. I think I read, but I've forgotten, so I don't want to say something which is wrong. Maybe next class we can answer.
Okay, I have the book. I'll also try to read it.
Yeah, you can read that. There is all the different forms that are being worshipped in
Yeah,
modern times.
Okay, and now I'm going with different flow. So once that is done, I'll start with this book.
No, you can just look up directly. You can see index and see Ayyappa and directly.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, we'll close here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Pranam to everybody assembled. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, pranam to all.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare